Good evening, you're still tuned to your election headquarters, Joy News on Multi TV, and you're welcome to another edition of Constituency Watch. We are live from the Joy News studios at Kokomimle here in Accra and right around the world on the internet at streams.myjoyonline.com. Now, if you have missed any episode of our show so far, please log on to www.youtube.com/myjoyonline2 to catch up on the shows that you have missed. And we're getting ever closer to the crucial December 7 polls. In fact, we're just 7 days away from this crucial date. And engaging our attention tonight is one constituency which has been in the news since 2002, principally because of the death of its overlord. Yes, tonight we're in the Dagban traditional area and precisely the Yendi constituency, where an interesting race is looming. Soon you will see why I say the race is an interesting one. But as always, your views and comments are welcome. 0544-334-722 is our WhatsApp number. Send us a tweet if you're on Twitter. Our handle is @JoyNewsOnTV and mine is @NeSmart. Or better still, you can post your comments on our Facebook page, facebook.com/JoyNews. My name is Nia Kofi Smartabe, and Constituency Watch is brought to you by the kindest courtesy of Star Ghana. We will be right back. Welcome back to Constituency Watch, brought to you by Star Ghana. Now to a very important message. You may have registered as a voter, but if your age is below 18 years, please do not vote, because underage voting is illegal and you can be arrested and prosecuted. So parents, please stop your children from voting if they are below 18. Any person under 18 years who votes may be arrested and prosecuted. This message is an initiative of the Editors Forum Ghana in collaboration with the National Commission for Civic Education, the Electoral Commission of Ghana, and the Multimedia Group, operators of Multi TV. Well, with that said, let's turn our attention now to the Yendi constituency. Now, a three-horse race is imminent in the Yendi constituency between an independent candidate who is said to have caused a major upset in that constituency 4 years ago, a former DCE, and an incumbent MP. Who gets the nod of the people of Yendi? Will it be the former DCE who says he has a track record of development, or will it be the incumbent MP whom some voters are already applauding for an appreciable level of work done so far in the constituency? Or will it be the independent candidate who gave a former MP a run for his money? The choice is up to the people of Yendi to make. And well, we'll try to help them make up their minds if they haven't made up already before we end the show tonight. But first, a profile of the constituency.
Yendi is the capital of Dagbon, the seat of the overlord of the Dagbon traditional area. The Yendi constituency is in the northern region and shares boundaries with the Mion constituency. Yendi is well noted primarily for the ranging conflict between the Abudu and Andani's gates over the succession of the late overlord Yana Yakubu Andani. The constituency is largely made up of Dagombes and Kokumbes, and trading and farming are the main occupations of the constituents. The constituency has an interesting voting pattern in that it has had representation in parliament by both the NDC and the NPP. Unlike the other constituencies where no one particular individual has represented them more than once in parliament, Yendi has one candidate who has defied all the odds. In 1992, Yusuf Idrisu of the National Democratic Congress represented the constituency in parliament with 5,850 votes. But the NDC lost out to the New Patriotic Party's Alhaji Malik Al-Hassan Yakubu in the 1996 parliamentary polls. Alhaji Malik polled 13,743 or 47.60% to beat the NDC's Suleiman Idrisu Jr., who managed 7,107 or 24.60% of the total votes cast. Alhaji Malik Yakubu retained the seat again in 2000 for the NPP with 10,620 votes, or 47.70%, whilst the NDC's new candidate Issa A. Bukari managed to pull 8,528 votes, representing 38.30%. The NPP's winning streak continued in 2004 with an increased margin of victory for their candidate. 15,302 votes, or 53.5%. The NDC's Suleiman Idrisu Baba also increased the fortunes of his party in the constituency to 10,779 votes, or 37.7%. He finally managed to secure the seat in 2008 with a slim victory over the NPP's candidate. Suleiman pulled 11,299 votes, or 37.4%, 760 votes more than the former MP Alhaji Malik Al-Hassan Yakubu's 10,539 votes to win the seat. The presidential race has, however, seen the NPP in the lead over the years. Former President Rawlings of the NDC managed 8,229, or 36.3% of the votes, losing to the NPP's John Kufuor, who polled 13,913, or 61.3%. During the first round of the voting in 2000, the NPP's candidate, John Kufuor, again got majority votes in the constituency, polling 11,247, or 51% of the votes cast, while the NDC's candidate, John Mills, managed 8,825, or 40%. In the runoff polls, John Ejekum Kufuor increased his lead narrowly to 12,660 votes, or 60.40%, whilst John Mills saw a slight decrease in his votes to 8,305 votes, representing 39.60%. In 2004, the presidential candidates of both the NDC and NPP saw an increase in their margin of victory. John Kufuor's lead shot up to 15,782, or 55%, and John Mills' vote also went up to 12,162, or 42%. The situation was no different in 2008 as the NPP's new presidential candidate Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo pulled 15,348, or 53% of the votes cast in the Yendi constituency during the first round polls, with John Mills managing to stay within his 12,000 mark, raking in 12,948 votes, or 45%. In the runoff polls, Nana Addo's votes further increased to 16,896 votes, representing 54.94%, whereas John Mills also pulled 13,858, or 46.06%. In the build-up to the December 7 polls, some electorates in the constituency have given the incumbent MP Suleiman Idrisu high marks for his ability to maintain peace in the area and for the expansion of infrastructure in the constituency since assuming office. So how do the candidates themselves see their chances in the upcoming general elections? The independent candidate in the last elections, Abubakar Mahamoud Aradu, whose performance is touted to have caused the former MP Alhaji Malik Yakubu to lose the seat, says he is in this race to win to improve the living standards of the people of the constituency. He describes himself as the only unifier between the Andanis and the Abudus, since his camp has people from both sides. The NPP's new candidate, Alhaji Habib Tijani, a former DCE under the President Kufuor administration, is bent on reclaiming the seat for the NPP. He also believes his track record as the former DCE will earn him the vote he requires to go to Parliament.
When I became a DCE, I went around the whole district. Now, Yendi and Myang districts. I handled both districts. It was one district. Then I raised it from district status to municipal status. We had 473 communities, and I visited 468 communities. Only 5 communities I could not visit for my 8-year stay in office. And I want to tell you that I left marks in every community that I visited. And that makes me think that, well, I have a track record. If I tell people I can do this, I'll be able to tell them what I did. I tell you that I built a lot of schools, and I'm not going to say a lot of schools and remain here. I'm going to mention some of the schools and the number of schools that I built. Within Yendi Township, I can mention a lot of schools. If I move into the outskirts, I can mention a lot of schools. Apart from building schools, the structures, I also opened up the communities to the Yendi Township. We constructed a lot of feeder roads to link Yendi to the other communities. We drilled a lot of boreholes and mechanized some of the boreholes in Yendi Township, in Sang, and other communities.
The incumbent MP for the area, Alhaji Suleiman Ibn Idrisu, also believes the numerous infrastructure development and improvement in access to healthcare and electricity, as well as his ability to maintain peace in the area, will win him more votes. He said his main contender for the election, Alhaji Habib Tijani, is going to lose the election because he has nothing to prove to the electorate.
The MPP parliamentary candidate knows very well that in the first place, his contest at these elections is a misnomer. Absolute misnomer. It can never be approximated to reality. If it is just a matter of just becoming part of the contest, fine, he's welcome. But that man or that candidate will not last even the first 10 or 3 hours at the elections. He knows that he has provided nothing for this constituency. I will not talk of what they are going to rate him on. His ratings are so low, You understand me? What development? Development? When people were running helter-skelter in Yendi, when almost every NGO and government asked him, 8 years, what happened to Yendi? Developmental finance that the government was bringing to Yendi was skewed to the security agencies. It was security. What development did he bring about in Yendi?
As it stands now, the race in Yendi can best be described as a 3-horse race between an independent candidate who caused a former MP to lose a seat, a former DCE who is banking his hopes on his past record, and an incumbent MP whom some electorates have applauded for his service to the constituency so far.
Welcome back. So that was our profile of the Yendi constituency. And tonight I'll be joined by 2 or possibly 3 of the 6 candidates contesting the seat. Alhaji Habib Tijani is the MPP's parliamentary candidate for that constituency who will join us. And so will Abubakar Mahmood, also known as Arado. He's an independent candidate and will make efforts to also get the incumbent MP, Alhaji Suleimana Ibn Idrisu, but of course he told us ahead of the show tonight that he's visiting a quite remote part of the constituency, and possibly we may not be able to get him because of a phone network problem, but we'll try. If we get him, we'll speak to him as well. But already Alhaji Habib is already on the line. Good evening to you, sir, and thanks for joining us on Constituency Watch.
Good evening to you, and good evening to your listeners and viewers.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Now, first of all, let's look at Yendi in its entirety. It is indeed a very volatile place because of the events that happened in that constituency, i.e. the death of the Yana since 2002. They've been back and forth about justice being served or otherwise. Is this issue and the succession to him, of course, is this issue still playing playing any role in the campaigning amongst you, the parliamentary aspirants in that constituency?
Thank you for your question, but let me tell you that a bit, but majority of voters this year have understood the dynamics of politics in Yendi. So you will see a lot of people who are traditional NDC voters or NDC supporters moving across to declare their support for me because of what I have done. This shows that the chieftaincy issue is going down and people are now awake of what they are supposed to do and what they need for or what they need in elections. In view of this, I have confidence that I'm going to win massively because this time we are not getting only NPP traditional voters. We are not getting only NPP supporters, but we are getting supporters. NPP is getting supporters from across all boards. Now, a lot of NPP supporters or analysts will be voting for me, and I have no doubt about it.
I asked a particular question. Sorry to cut in, but I asked a particular question because the independent candidate, Abubakar Mahmood, says that he is the only unifier and he has both the Andanis and Abudus supporting him in his campaign. So, which means that really this issue hasn't really gone underboard as we would expect it to have.
Well, I don't know what he sees coming out with this, but let me tell you that I believe the chieftaincy issue is going down because I am getting support, and a lot of supporters from the NDC and Andani are going to vote for me. They have declared their support for me openly, and if I see this, then I have every confidence in telling you that the chieftaincy card is now going down, and people this time will vote based on issues and not on chieftaincy lines.
Okay, speaking of issues,
there may be some few people who will still vote in terms of chieftaincy.
Okay.
But if the independent seat is getting supporters from both sides, well, he has his reasons for saying that. But I believe I'm getting a chunk of the supporters from the Andani and the NDC group.
Okay, so talking about issues, how much of an issue is security in the elections in that constituency? Because definitely it would play a major role.
Well, that's one. I have some concerns in respect of security. A number of secret meetings were held by the FC and the executives and even supporters. And these were made known to the security agencies, the BNI, the police. And even following that, there was attack on us on 30th November. On 30th, was it October?
And did you make any formal complaints to the police?
Yes, formal complaints were made to the police. People were invited, their statements were taken for almost a month. It was only yesterday that several people appeared and in court, and the court adjourned the case. Meanwhile, the people, the complainants, were not even aware the court was open yesterday. And a number of times, you will see the way the NDC people behave. It looks like they don't want the election to take place.
When you say the way the NDC people behave, what exactly are they doing?
They attack our people. The other time I'm talking about, the NDC attacked myself and my supporters when we were returning from the rally ground. A lot of
Sorry to cut in again, but when you say the NDC, is it that there are people you suppose belong to the NDC, yes, or these are people you know for a fact are members of the NDC?
These were NDC supporters who were transported to the scene to attack us by the NDC van.
And why were they transported to attack you?
Now, they know their reason, but what I think about it is that they want to destabilize the area so that the election will not take place because Baba knows he has already lost the election. So, he doesn't know any community. He doesn't visit. There are even communities he cannot visit. Because he told them like he defeated them and he cannot get to those communities. So, NDC cannot even organize a single rally in Yendi Township. So, they know they have lost the election. What have they got to show? My track record is there for people to see. Every community I visit, the people know and the people see. They tell me, who did this? You gave us this room. You gave us this borehole. You gave us this. You gave us this clinic. You gave us this. You gave us that.
It's interesting you're talking about your track record. Sorry once again to cut him, but the incumbent MP doesn't think you really have any track record to prove anything at all.
That is the figment of his own imagination. It's only deceiving the public, but he himself, he knows. He knows very well that he hasn't got any record. That is why people are running away from him and joining us.
Okay, and since you have indicated that security is a matter of concern to you, how are you preaching peace to ensure that the security concerns that you have do not escalate into violence, which would not be something not peculiar to the constituency?
With my supporters, every meeting that I hold with the public in our rallies, meeting individuals, meeting chiefs, meeting opinion leaders, are always preaching that. I tell them we need peace in the area, we need peace to develop. We need conducive atmosphere for development. We need perfect peace in the area. And we say it and we act accordingly.
Yeah, because it's one thing to say and it's one thing to actually ensure that.
Act accordingly. If you look at the other time when we were attacked, a lot of firings were made, but we were able to restrain ourselves, and the only thing we did was to report to the police.
Okay.
We never reacted, and we are waiting for the law to take its own course.
Okay. So, which I believe it's something you would actually ensure still prevails even throughout the election period.
Yes, and a number of times I've called on the security agencies to be aware of what is going on and ensure the election goes on freely, fairly, and without any incident.
Okay. All right. Now, you are the candidate for the NPP, which has dominated elections in that constituency for quite some time, since 1996, thereabout, till recently when the NDC came back again to win the seat. How do you assess your own chances? This time there are 6 of you in the race.
Very excellent. I don't see them as threats. I don't see any of them as threats.
Not even with the NDC, the incumbent NDC MP, and also the fact that the independent candidate who actually caused your predecessor in the party, Alhaji Malik, to lose the 2008 elections is also in this race?
And let me say emphatically that the independent this time is not a threat to NDC. The independent was sponsored by the NDC in 2008. The independent is still sponsored by the NDC in 2012. So if you look at the campaign going on in the city, you see the independent and the NDC, they move together, they move into their communities, and all the supporters of the independent in the 2008 have rejoined NDC. So the independent is now competing with the NDC candidates and supporters. You know, I don't know whether you are aware that there is another breakaway NDC independent. Now, NDC now has 2 or 3 people competing for their pupils. Meanwhile, they are still losing their supporters for NDC. Now, this independent that you are talking about is not even a registered member of NDC. He has never been an NDC. He was NDC, except that he was getting some of his supporters from NDC. Now, they have all left him, and he's now competing with the MP, and the other is NDC independent for the NDC supporters.
Okay. So finally, before I let you go, though, usually I like to ask the various aspirants what percentage they think they are winning by next week. Let me put it that way, because next week, December 7th, is just next week.
God so willing, I am going to win between 72 and 75%. I have no doubt about it, inshallah.
Okay. Well, we'll keep our eyes on that, and we'll say a big thank you to you for now, Mr. Alhaji Habib Tijani. Welcome, sir. Alhaji Habib Tijani is the NPP's parliamentary aspirant for the Yendi constituency. He's targeting 70 to 80% of the votes in that constituency. We'll keep our eyes on it next week to see if he's able to achieve that. But we'll take a quick breather. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us. It's Constituency Watch. welcome back. This is still Constituency Watch here on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. Tonight we're looking at the Yendi constituency in the northern region, and let's hit the phone lines again and speak to Abubakar Mahmood. He is an independent candidate contesting that particular seat. Good evening to you, sir, and thanks for joining us. Hello, Mr. Mahmood.
Hello.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on Constituency Watch.
Yeah. It's a pleasure talking with you.
Okay. Now, first of all, let me start with looking at the Yendi constituency as a whole. We know that, of course, Dagbon is in that particular constituency, and we cannot lose sight of the fact that there has been rising tension in that constituency since the late overlord Yana Yakubu Andani died in 2002. Is how much of an issue are you particularly making of this Abudu Andani Gate the division, if I can put it that way, because we understand that you are saying you are the only unifier because you have both camps on your side in your campaign?
Yeah, Abu Kare Mohammed Mahmoud, also known as Arado, is a leader of Kafos, an independent party in Yendi. We emerged on the political scene in 2008 as a result of...
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Okay, I thought I'd lost you for a moment. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm just on my campaign trail, so I had to even stop. I'm in a vehicle.
Okay, so like to the question, then let's make it snappy so you can go back to your campaign. How much of an issue is the Abudu Andani Gate playing in your campaign as we approach December 7?
Arado, who is a leader of Kafos, an independent movement in Yendi, is saying that Dagbon unity, peace is paramount. Arado would like to be associated with Dagbon that is free of violence. Arado wants to lead the people of Dagbon, because when you are talking of Dagbon, you are talking of Yendi. Arado wants to lead a united Dagbon. Arado wants to lead a peaceful Dagbon. Arado wants to lead a constituency which is unifying both Abudu and Andane when it comes to the geopolitics of Dagbon.
Okay.
Arado wants to see a situation where stone throwing will be a thing of the past. The emergence of Kafos on the political scene in 2008, the political history is there. You can cross-check it from the records in Yendi.
Okay, so sorry to cut in, but since you say you want to be MP over a unified Dagbon, are you preaching peace as well as part of your campaign, other than just having both gates join you on your campaign?
Peace is paramount, and that is what Arado has put first as part of his agenda. That the number one thing that Dagbon, specifically Yendi, needs is peace before any other thing can be added on. And that is what Arado is telling every discerning eligible voter in the constituency, that violence should be a thing of the past.
Okay.
Resort to violence will not bring us closer to our goal, as Martin Luther rightly said.
Okay, and how about the issue of security? How much of a role, how much of a premium are you placing on security in that particular constituency?
Security is paramount to us, and if you follow us critically, Arado in 2008 used Stand Up as his symbol, and one electoral commission in 2012 called for our nomination forms. We gave them everything. Unfortunately, when the the parliamentary polls of this thing came out, who was given to us, we accepted it. It nearly resulted in a furore. It nearly resulted in some confusion in Yendi. Arado had to intervene immediately. In conjunction with the divisional commander, I told him in less than 2 hours time, in no more than 2 hours, there will be peace, absolute peace. There will be nothing untoward. There will be nothing negative. I assured the divisional commander, given us the whole is not a problem. He should be rest assured that I will talk to my team and supporters. It will not result in any anarchy. It will not result in any trouble. He should be rest assured. And we accepted it in good faith. We are working with it. And we think that victory is awaiting us.
Okay.
And we will certainly annex the power come December 7th.
Okay, speaking of victory, the NPP's candidate, I just spoke to him, Alhaji Habib Tijani. He thinks that you are not much of a threat to him in this particular poll, but we understand that you actually did cause a major upset as far as Alhaji Malik Yakubu was concerned. And he thinks that, well, this time around things have changed. You really are not that much of a threat to him.
It's a wake-up call to him. As Arado and his team visit the nook and cranny of the constituency, as we traverse the length and breadth of the constituency, the common call, what you can read from the faces of the people is that of disillusionment, is that of disenchantment, that we are tired of NPP, we are tired of deceit, we are tired of lack of development. And when you even visit some, I will not mention names, that NDC strongholds, NPP strongholds, Habib Tijani has neglected them. Habib Tijani has insulted them. On a particular occasion, he insulted that the only beautiful thing that they can, the only beautiful thing that a community needs is nothing but honey. That how can such a person come looking for our votes? That we are tired of such a people. And that if you vote for Malik, he's a troublemaker. We don't want a situation where we will go back to 2002. We are tired of it. And voting for Habib Tijani is indirectly voting for trouble in December 2012.
That's a strong way to put it. Why would you say that voting for him amounts to voting for trouble?
That is it. Because as at the time, he was at the helm of affairs.
Okay,
he was done something to avert the situation. What did he do as a leader?
Okay.
What did he do as at that time to avert such a very nasty situation?
Okay. All right. Before I let you go, though, I just want to find out what would you say is your key priority intervention for the the Yendi constituency, should you become their MP next year?
Of course, what is insignificant, what is important to Arado and his team is that of education and human resource
development.
Okay. We believe that empowering the children holds the key to development. Yendi is big. Yendi is big. We don't have a teacher training college. Television station is absent in Yendi. Medical officers are absent. Almost virtually 2 weeks ago, we had to lose a brother as a result of absence of a medical officer at the hospital. What Arado intends doing is that if given the mandate, Arado is assuring the entire constituency that he will devote substantial part of his common fund, specifically under education, to training one medical officer.
Okay.
And bond him to serve the district. Arado, when given the mandate, will liaise up with Ministry of Education, will liaise up with Ghana Education Service, such that a teacher training college is established in Yendi.
Okay. All right. And I know I said finally, but finally, what percentage are you targeting next Friday?
My brother, wait for December 7th. I'm not here to put on percentages. But I want to assure you that victory is beckoning us.
Is it that you're not sure of how much
It's not going to, it's going to be a landslide victory.
So landslide, at least you should be able to predict for us what percentage you're taking in the landslide, won't it?
I tell you, we'll clock between 60 to 70%.
Well, that's actually then would not make you the winner, because Alhaji Habib is targeting between 70 and 80%. And should his prediction come to pass, then he would then be the MP.
Wait for December 7th.
Okay.
Wait for December 7th.
We definitely will. And we'll keep our eyes on the Yendi constituency as well. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Abubakar Mohammed Mahmoud. He is an independent candidate contesting the Yendi seat in the northern region. And before we wrap up, let me take the messages that have come through so far. Well, Yendi has always been NPP's safe seat, and we are taking it again because the people of Yendi have seen the little that NDC has done against the much better that NPP did and will continue to do under Nana Addo come January 2013. That's from James Amuzu. This one is from Maputo. He says, "Smart, please tell Habib Tijani to spare us the phantom security promises because it was under their watch that the overlord of Dagbang was brutally and disgracefully murdered. Dagbang appears more safe today than it was 5 years ago. Therefore, I'm very sure the incumbent MP will carry the day." That's Maputo's take. And the final one, what Tijani is saying is not true. No NDC supporter is on his side. The people of Yendi are fed up with him and will make sure that the peace that is currently enjoyed is maintained. The NDC is going to retain the seat by God's grace. That's from Emmanuel, and he sent in that message from Yendi. So thank you very much, Emmanuel, for reaching out to us from the constituency we are looking at tonight, and for, of course, sharing with us your thoughts as well. I'd have to say a big thank you to the aspirants I was able to speak to tonight. Abubakar Mohammed Mahmoud, popularly known as Arado, he is an independent candidate contesting the Yendi seat. And then also we spoke to Alhaji Habib Tijani, who is the MPP's parliamentary aspirant for the same constituency. Thank you so much for your time with us tonight on Constituency Watch. My name is Nia Kofi Smartabe. Nightly news comes up shortly. Stay tuned to join us.